A Course in Miracles, Manual for Teachers, Chapter 15. Is each one to be judged in the end? Indeed, yes. No one can escape God's final judgment. I'm guessing it's a good thing. Who could flee forever from the truth? But the final judgment will not come until it is no longer associated with fear. Only one day, each one will welcome it. And on that very day, it will be given him. He will hear his sinlessness proclaimed round and around the world, setting it free as God's final judgment on him is received. Just all kinds of stuff. The number one responsibility of the teacher of God is to accept the atonement for himself. And the last judgment, the final judgment, it's, where is that? It's the final judgment. Earlier on, it's been talked about a bunch of times. Now I don't remember where. It's like chapter 6, somewhere in there. That's not important. What's important is it's something that it talks about the Holy Spirit can lead you to it, but it's something that you must know yourself. Something that you accept. The last step is taken by God. Well, God doesn't take steps. So, yeah, that's why this makes sense. This is the judgment in which salvation lies. This is the judgment that will set him free. This is the judgment in which all things are freed from him. Time pauses as eternity comes near, and silence lies across the world that everyone may hear this judgment on the Son of God. Holy are you, eternal, free, and whole, as peace forever in the heart of God. Whole at peace forever in the heart of God. Where is the world and where is sorrow now? So holy are you, eternal, free, and whole, at peace forever in the heart of God. Where is the world and where is sorrow now? I know it's just simply, the past, the past that the separation never occurred. You never left. But to know that is different. Is this your judgment on yourself, teacher of God? Do you believe that this is wholly true? No, not yet. Not yet. And it should be noted, as happens many times in the Course, as it was dictated at that time, this would have been specifically to Helen or Bill or whoever, that it was to them specifically that it's no, not yet, not yet. That doesn't mean it's excluded from anyone, or that someone can't, accept this as wholly true. But anyway, this is still your goal, why you are here. It is your function to prepare yourself to hear this judgment and to recognize that it is true. One instant of complete belief in this, and you will go beyond belief to certainty. Difference between knowledge and perception, certainty. One instant out of time can bring time's end. Judge not for you, but judge yourself, and thus delay this final judgment. There it is, final judgment. What is your judgment on the world, O teacher of God? Have you yet learned to stand aside and hear the voice of judgment in yourself? That would be the voice for God. Or do you still attempt to take his role from him? Usurping God is how we ended up here in the first place. And by judging ourselves, we continue to do the exact same thing. You judge yourself, you're usurping God's place as creator. Anyway. Learn to be quiet, for his voice is heard in stillness, and his judgment comes to all who stand aside in quiet, listening and wait for him. You who are sometimes sad and sometimes angry, who sometimes feel your just due is not given you, and your best efforts meet with lack of appreciation and even with contempt, give up these foolish thoughts. They are too small and meaningless to occupy your holy mind an instant longer. God's judgment waits for you to set you free. What can the world hold out to you, regardless of your judgments on its gifts, that you would rather have? You will be judged, and judged in fairness and in honesty. There is no deceit in God. His promises are sure. Only remember that. His promises have guaranteed his judgment, and his alone will be accepted in the end. It is your function to make that end be soon. It is your function to hold his judgment in your heart and offer it to all the world to keep it safe. What do you think God's judgment is? It's not a bad thing. It's the prodigal son. It's the welcoming. It's you were created perfect and whole. That's the final judgment. But to know that as your being is what you need to do. And nobody can do it for you.